Hello, this is Gemma Stone from gemmastone.org, and welcome to another edition of Q&A Today, where I answer one of the questions that you sent in. And so today's question, I'm just going to pull it up here on my computer. So today's question is all about direction. So the question is, Gemma, at the moment I feel like I'm lacking direction in my life. I need to set some goals and I'm not sure where to begin. Any suggestions? Yes, absolutely, I have some suggestions for you. So I think the feeling of lacking direction is a pretty common feeling that many women and men experience. And so if you ever feel like lost, confused, feel like you're drifting or in limbo, or maybe bored or unsettled, or maybe you just feel like life hasn't really turned out the way that you thought it would, then often it can be an issue of direction. And so I think there's a 4-step process to starting to get a sense of direction in your life. And so the first thing to do is to figure out what your core values are. So I did a worksheet and video series on this earlier, so I'll put a link at the bottom of this page. So if you need to figure out your core values, I'll put that down there. You can go there and figure that out. But your core values, these are the things that guide you in your life, and they're I like to call them your safety net, so that if you're ever not sure what to do or what decision to make, you run them by your core values, and then that will bring more clarity. So if it's not in alignment with your core values, then it's an easier decision to say yes or to say no. But if you don't know what your core values are, then there's no safety net to catch you when you're in those moments of uncertainty. And also it's your core values that guide the direction of the big picture of your life, which is number 2. So number 2 is figure out and write about what's the big picture of your life. What do you want your life to look like? Let's say that you're at the end of your days and you're looking back at your life. What are the things that you will have wanted to do or to be or to have achieved? And just try to step it up a little bit. Look at the big picture instead of looking at the small details, because sometimes we can get overwhelmed in those. So start with looking at your core values and then the big picture of your life. Once you get the big picture down, then break down those things into smaller steps or smaller goals. And so that could be your education, your family life, your career, your finances, your health. I like to look at 4 aspects of life. So there's the physical stuff, so that's, house and possessions and body and things like that. There's the mental stuff, and so that's knowledge, wisdom, education. There's the emotional stuff. So what's the feeling that you want to have about your life? Is it happiness? Is it peace? Is it passion? Is it love? Figure out the emotional piece. And the 4th is spiritual, which is spiritual stuff you want to have. And it's not to say there's one right way or one wrong way or whatever that is, but just be clear on what it is for you. So after you've figured out your big picture and you've broken it down into the smaller things, so the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, then you can create an action plan for those. So let's say we'll take the physical. Let's say that you want to be a really healthy and fit person. Maybe some of the goals might be running a 10K or drinking green juice, which is one of my personal favorites. Or if there is a mental piece, maybe there's some training that you want to take, and so you can look into signing up for that. Or if it's financial, you can kind of break that down. What does that look like? What do I have to have? What do I have to do in order to get there? And then once you've created your goals, let's say a goal might be to run a marathon, then you can break it down into an action step or an action plan. And so for each one of those goals, so break it down into an action plan. And what do you need to do? So maybe you need to buy some running shoes. Maybe you need to start hitting the pavement. Maybe you need to find out where there's a marathon in your area. But break it down into your action steps so that no matter where you're going in your life, you have action steps for each area of your life. So physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. You'll have an action plan for how to achieve each one of those. And then you can take it up again to the big picture, make sure they're all in alignment, and check in with your core values once again to make sure that all of the goals and all of the action plans you created for yourself are in alignment with your core values. So that was a very long answer to your question, but hopefully that gives you some things that you can start to work with. And I'd love to hear from you. So if you like it, then do a little thumbs up and like it. And I'd love to hear a comment if you want to post a comment below, question, or you can send me an email if you want me to answer your question next time. So thank you again for spending these 5 minutes with me, and I really look forward to seeing you next time. Happy goal setting. Take care. Bye.